Hey guys, so last night I finally went and saw Free Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Um, as I mentioned in my review for All the Money in the World, I'm going to continue to say this that I will not be doing a top 10 list yet for my best films of 2017 until the end of January because mainly it's becoming a recurring theme with my movie theater that they release all the big award season movies in January, just dump them all in there because really there's nothing out in January. Looking at like the lineup for January, it's like, why not? I don't blame them. So I won't be doing review or do a top 10 list, like I said, until the end of January, beginning of February. Now, one of the main reasons why I didn't want to do a top 10 list was because this was one of the movies I really wanted to see before I made my top 10 list. This, Shape of Water, and Disaster Artist are like the three that I've really been wanting to see before I made my top 10 list. And I've got to see one out of the three so far. Hopefully the other two are coming soon. I hope. I've been waiting for the Disaster Artist for a fucking month now, almost 2 months, and I'm getting tired of it. So I'm like, I'm pretty much almost at this point thinking we're never going to get it, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. Anyways, Free Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri is probably the one that a lot of people don't know about. So, if you don't know what it's about, this is a movie from the director, Martin McDonagh. Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, who the fuck is that? He's the guy who made movies like In Bruges and Seven Psychopaths. Those are two movies I know a lot of people haven't seen, but I highly recommend people watch them. They're really good fucking dark comedies. He has a really good knack of making really dark comedies about really dark subjects and making them really funny, but also really dramatic at the same time. Does a really good job of mixing drama and comedy very fucking well. I've been blown away by his films up to this point, especially In Bruges is like one of my favorite movies of the last 10 years. Easily. Like I said, I've been a big fan of his work up to this point, and I saw the previews for this, and I was like sold instantly just from the cast. The trailer was fucking funny. There was a lot of fucking lines I was laughing at every time I saw this trailer. It continued to crack me up. Anytime you got people like Frances McDormand and Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell in a fucking movie, I'm like, hell yeah. It looked great from like I said, from the previews and knowing who was behind it. I was sold instantly. And this might not come as a surprise to almost anyone after saying all that, that this could possibly be one of my favorite films of the fucking year. I love this movie. I've been talking about it all day today, how great this movie was. I've been recommending people go support this thing. I'm going to tell you right now, go support this movie. I hope this movie continues to make money. Unfortunately, when I went to the theater to go see this, just to show how much not a lot of people know about this movie, I went up to the ticket counter and I said, one for Free Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. And the girl at the ticket counter, who I've seen multiple times there, has seen me before, she just kind of looked at me like, what the fuck is that? Like, literally, that's the first time that's ever happened. And I pointed up to the marquee, she looked up there like, oh, yeah, that's something we got. What the fuck is that? I've never heard of that. But it's like, that's a damn shame because this is a really good movie. And if you were to give, as far as acting and directing and best picture, this is one of my front runners for all those fucking categories. This is a damn good movie. It's screenplay too. Yeah, fucking screenplay. Easily a screenplay. Like I said, the acting in this movie is just some of the best I've seen all year. 3 performances stood out easily for me. First, Frances McDormand pulls off what is probably I would hope would be, I would think she would be the front runner for Best Actress this year, because Jesus Christ, I know people I've heard people say Sally Hawkins is great in Shape of Water, and again, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say for sure. And Sally Hawkins is great, but man, this performance was amazing. If you don't know the story, she's a mom whose daughter is murdered and raped, and the movie starts 7 months after this has happened, and there has been no leads. They haven't caught anybody. There's like no suspects whatsoever, and she's furious about this, and she thinks the cops are not doing their jobs, even though they really are. And she puts up these free billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri, their town that they live in, where they basically just are harassing the cops, particularly Woody Harrelson, who's the police chief of this town, and asking why they haven't caught the guy or anything like that. And she's a mother who's at a wit's end, who's grieving, going through so much grief, is like beside herself. She had a horrible argument with her daughter the last time she talked to her, where she would basically kind of get the spoilers, but not really. They show like her last conversation she had before her daughter left. Her daughter wanted to drive her mother's car, and she wouldn't allow it because she's been smoking pot. And they got in an argument, and she said, the daughter said, well, I guess I'll be raped on my way home from my way home. I guess you're going to have to risk that because I'm going to have to walk home. And she said, well, I hope you do get raped. I'm like, oh, man. Like, some people will say that it's like maybe a little heavy-handed of a conversation that you hear in this movie. But at the same time, I've lived with females. I lived with my sister and my mother for majority of my life, and I was there during my sister's teenage years, and there were a lot of conversations where stuff like that would be said, where you say stuff that you really regret instantly saying. Like, you say some really horrible, hateful things in the heat of the moment, and God, I was like, man. And she's living with regret, and she's hell-bent on finding this guy who killed her daughter at any cost, even when it's delving into some pretty horrible things she does herself. I won't go into spoilers, but it's a movie. It's like talks a lot about grief and how we handle it, and people handle it a lot different ways than everybody handles it in different ways. This is a little bit more of an extreme version of it, but it's great. Like I said, I could see somebody in my family. My family has a bunch of crazy women in it, and I could see any of them doing the same fucking things that she does. Especially my mother. If my sister got murdered or raped, just like Frances McDormand's daughter did, she'd be doing the exact same fucking thing. Frances McDormand also has an ex-husband played by John Hawkes, who is an ex-cop, who he used to beat her, and they have a really tumultuous relationship, and he's dating a 19-year-old who's played by Samara Weaving, the girl from The Babysitter, B from The Babysitter, which was nice to see her in a movie again. This is like the second movie I've seen her in, so I was like, she's actually pretty good. Like, she had probably some of my favorite lines in the movie because she's such a ditz. And this movie's playing a ditz, and like Frances McDormand just giving her this cold ass stare and maybe fucking die. But it's hilarious. But also Woody Harrelson, fucking damn, he pulls on. I was like, for majority of the first half of this movie, I was sitting here like, why isn't he getting any talk for Oscars or any nominations? Because he's really good in this movie. What they don't tell you about him in the trailers is that he's dying from pancreatic cancer. Now, that's revealed in the first 10 minutes. And it's not really spoiling too much of this movie for you. And he's dying of pancreatic cancer, and they show his point of view that, like, he is trying to find this guy. He regrets not being able, he's, like, living with torment that he's not been able to find this killer. He lives with regret because of this, and he really wants to. Even after the billboards start coming out, he reopens the case. He wants to try to reopen the case because he is hell-bent on trying to see if he missed something. Maybe he missed something. He's like, he wants to try to do it. And now the case is in the public eye. Unfortunately, he has to. And like, people are giving him shit, or giving Frances McDormand shit, because a lot of people like him, and also he's dying, which is kind of fucked up. But he's really good. Like, Woody Harrelson's one of the most underrated actors out there. A guy who, like, how the hell he's not won an Oscar ever in his career is fucking beyond me. Jeez, man. Like, he deserves, like, a lot more recognition. He's always consistently a great actor. I always enjoy the hell out of him as an actor. I do get why he probably didn't get the nomination. I won't get into spoilers, but he's not in the movie as much as, like, Frances McDormand and Sam Rockwell and everything else, and so that's probably why, I guess. But still, you could get a supporting actor nomination, but I don't know. Sam Rockwell, who's getting a lot of nods too, I see, is really good. Is really good in this movie. He plays this guy, this cop, who is kind of a racist asshole, and he really is a racist asshole for a majority of this fucking movie. He is almost unfucking likable, and he's supposed to be. And it's like, wow, this is a different performance, different, like, role for somebody like Sam Rockwell. It's kind of nice to see him in something like this. Like, see him play this really seedy cop who's this really big giant asshole who, like, was accused of torturing black prisoners and stuff like that, but he never got suspended or anything like that. But you see, like, how horrible this guy is, like, especially about 30 minutes into this movie, the shit he does with that guy that put up the billboards. Oh my god, that was fucking brutal. I was like, Jesus Christ. And but it does give you he gets a redemption story. Like, I like that, like, you think you know everything about this character, and then you kind of, by the end of this movie, kind of, like, turns it on its head, and kind of makes you kind of sympathetic towards this character, which was kind of nice. Like, he isn't, like, just a generic villain, like, racist villain. He gets a redemption by the end of this fucking thing. This is a movie I don't want to spoil too much of, because the less you know, the more the better it is, because you think you know every place. You think you kind of know going in. Like, I thought I knew going in what kind of movie this was gonna be. But man, does it throw some twists and turns at you. Some fucking stuff from left field. And just like, what the hell? Like, there are multiple points I was just sitting there like, oh my god. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ. Particularly 30 minutes in this movie, they throw a gut punch at you that just, like, floored me. I was like, damn. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, because it's like, you have to fucking watch it, and it's like, damn it, man. And basically, from that point forward, everything escalates very fucking quickly. It escalates a lot worse than it was. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna fucking spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. It's one of those movies you don't want to spoil anything. because like like I said, I recommend people watching it. Listen, there's like multiple turns in this fucking movie. Also, I want to point out Peter Dinklage is in this. I love the humor in this movie. Like, the humor in this movie is just, it's very hard. It's very dark comedy, very very dark comedy. Like, there's a lot of like heart-wrenching moments followed by some really fucking funny moments. Like I was talking about, like, this is a movie where they make fun of Peter Dinklage for being the town midget. He's in this movie, and has the hots for Frances McDormand, and everybody's giving her shit because he wants to get in her pants. Basically, it's fucking hilarious. It is really fucking hilarious. I love that. I love that shit. That was pretty funny. Like I said, John Hawkes' 19-year-old girlfriend, played by Samara Weaving, was pretty fucking funny. The hell else? Who else was pretty good, like, in a side role? I forget who else, but like I said, it's really fucking good. It's like, the writing is great. It's fucking some of the best writing of the year, but probably best screenplay of the year, easily. It should be win's best screenplay. I'm certain on that. If there is anything I can complain about, there is one thing that was like, when the movie was over, I was like, man, there's just one thing that kind of, the ending to this movie. I don't know if I'm the only one who was like, I feel like this movie had mixed messages about vigilantism by the end of this movie, and I don't feel like that fit with the rest of the tone of this movie. I wasn't sure how I felt about it, and it's really hard to explain without seeing it. Like I said, I'm not, without spoiling it, so I'm not going to say like what I'm talking about. You have to see it yourself. I don't know if I'm the only one out there who thought this, but it's just like that ending and what it's saying about vigilantism. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like the what the characters decide to do by the end of this movie, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Like I said, it's like, I mean, anyways, I highly recommend the movie. Like I said, the ending didn't piss me off or anything. It's like, but it didn't hurt. Like I said, this is easily still one of the best films I've seen all year. If this doesn't make a top 5, or hell, I have a kind of inkling of what my top 2 favorite films of the year is, but this could make it. Like I said, I could be changing my mind from a week from now, but like if about a month from now, and like I said, I still haven't seen Shape of Water, Disaster Artist, I, Tonya, what other movies like like some of the other movies that are coming up. I'll be reviewing here coming up. But yeah, like I highly recommend this movie. Go check it out. It's fucking great. Really great movie. Really underseen movie. I hope more people start kind of paying attention to this thing. Like I said, I want to see Martin McDonagh, be more successful as a director. His movies don't do that well. So, like I said, I was the only one in the theater. I was laughing my ass off. So it was kind of nice because I was laughing my ass off the whole time while watching it. Not the whole time, because there are some parts that are not very funny, but the parts that were funny were really fucking funny. The only trailer I got in front of this that was new was Proud Mary. This was something the day before I got a commercial for it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? This is like a weird thing that's now becoming a trend in Hollywood. It's Taraji P. Henson playing a hit girl or something like that, hitman or something like that, who's just like footage. The trailer is just footage of her just shooting up places and shooting up people and yada yada yada. I'm like, why is this becoming a thing where like females now, like female-led action movies where like becoming hitmen and shit like that. That's a fucking weird trend, like between Atomic Wand and the Red Sparrow coming up. And like I said, the only thing that made me chuckle was that they were playing during the trailer Proud Mary, Tina Turner's Proud Mary. That made me laugh. Which I didn't even realize that was the title of the movie or the title of the song. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Why that? Like, I always knew that song as "Rolling on a River." I thought that's what the song was called. They're like, no, it's called. My mom's like, no, that's called Proud Mary. I'm like, oh, I guess that title does make sense now. Okay, that's like cool. So yeah, like I said, it looked. It didn't look bad. It's just like Charles B. Henson's a pretty good actor, so like whatever. Yeah, I'll be back. My theater did get Darkest Hour and Molly's Game, so I will be reviewing those in the next few days. It is fucking freezing cold where I live in Ohio. It's like -5 degrees outside, so I wasn't going anywhere today, so fuck that shit. So yeah, it's gonna warm up tomorrow in the next few days, so I'm gonna go see Darkest Hour and Molly's Games in the next few days, and until then, I'll talk to you guys later.